Hey, hey, hey.
Hey, hey, hey.
Welcome to GZR Ground Zero Radio here in Newport Beach, Costa Mesa, California.
Happy Monday. That's right, Monday.
Happy Monday, everybody.
And there's a third voice on the mic.
There is. Tris is back from vacay.
Yes, I'm back. Thank you.
I'm glad you could join us.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I'm also glad you had a good time.
Had a wonderful time.
Very,
Yep.
very necessary. Yep. Very necessary.
Yeah, you got to have those vacations.
Yes. And Mike, Karen, tell us what's going on around Orange County and California and the world.
Oh, not much.
I don't believe that.
Well, happy National Sea Serpent Day.
Sea serpent?
That's important.
What is a sea serpent?
Cecil, of course.
Well, yeah, the Cecil and, all of them throughout the millennia. Okay, so off to today in music history. 1963, Beach Party, the movie starring Frankie Avalon and Annette Funicello, opens in theaters, featuring music by the king of surf guitar, Dick Dale.
Yes,
Oh.
local boy.
Yeah.
Nice.
1996, ZZ Top's album Eliminator certified diamond for sales of 10 million copies in America.
Holy smokes.
Yeah.
David Compton's favorite band of all time. He is the number one fan of all time. Let me just tell you. Okay.
In case you guys and ZZ
Next.
Top are wondering. 1997, Garth Brooks sets a record by playing to the largest crowd ever in New York's Central Park. An estimated 1 million people attended a live concert with an additional 14.6 million viewing live on HBO. Now, since then, the number's been contested, but it's still somewhere around a million.
Wow.
What, was Taylor Swift on the same bill or something?
No, it was just Garth. Okay. And then in 2007, the Osmonds are awarded a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, which is,
That's good.
yeah.
I'm a little bit country.
I'm a little bit rock and roll.
Rock and roll.
Okay, some notable birthdays this week. Today, Bruce Dickinson, speaking of rock and roll.
Excellent.
Tuesday, tomorrow, is Ricky Rocket. And Thursday will be Jethro Tull's Ian Anderson.
Wow.
Jethro Tull. I love them.
And then Friday, local girl Kayla Kramer hosts a
Boom.
singer-songwriter nights at Campus Jacks.
Okay.
Happy early birthday, Kayla.
Happy birthday, Kayla.
And then here's a sampling of local happenings this week. Tonight, Cheap Trick and the Tubes will be at the Pacific Amphitheater, so you can listen to us on the way over there while you sit in the parking lot.
That's going on right now.
That is
Tonight.
Can I come back in a bit?
yes.
No.
Wednesday, we have Smashing Pumpkins with the Stone Temple Pilots and Rival Sons,
Oh, great.
California band, at 5 Points Amp.
Wow.
Again, that's on Wednesday.
Okay.
Thursday, the Aquabats will be at Miles Square Park in Fountain Valley. And same night, Dog Star will be at St. Rock in Hermosa Beach. For those of you who don't know, the Keanu Reeves is the bass player in that band.
Oh, boy.
Later in August, they'll be at the Observatory if you don't want to drive all the way to Hermosa Beach. Plus, I just realized it is a sold-out show. Friday, friends of the show, Guitar and Whiskey Club, will be at Mamba Sports Bar and Grill.
Hey.
That's going to be a good show.
And then the following night, again at Mamba, will be Triple Thread and friend of the show, Vince Louie.
Fantastic.
Yes.
And then this Sunday, got to mention it, our friend Peter Frampton will be at Yamava.
Ah, yes.
And last but not least, I do want to do a shout out to my friend Taylor. She hasn't called me. I know she's in town for the next few nights, but still, she's doing really well for herself. Singer-songwriter.
I guess.
That's doing quite well. Anyways, that's the news.
Dun, dun, dun. I think Peter Frampton, if he's playing Sunday right over there,
Yeah.
inland, maybe his tour manager would allow, maybe there's time in his schedule to drop by next Monday night.
Well, yeah, exactly. That would be fantastic.
Let's check
Mike
that
and I
out.
were talking about that because we do have a ability to reach out. So who
Hey,
knows?
Ho. Awesome. In the studio tonight, we have the one and only Tom Ciurczak. Hey.
Yes, she did it. She got your name right.
Hi, how are you?
Welcome.
Nice to be here.
Thank you for coming in. We are looking forward to hearing all about your musical journey.
And I was such a huge Peter Frampton fan.
Oh,
Right.
gosh.
When he came out with Frampton's Camel and Winds of Change,
Yes.
I mean, I took that photo and I went to the person that cut my hair. And
Oh,
I said,
my
I want that
goodness.
haircut.
Yeah.
And so I had the Peter Frampton haircut.
Yep. Everybody did. Yep.
Yes, major teenage crush. So, but let's talk about you and your latest album. So let's see. We want to just launch right into a song, All Night Long. How's that? Should we do All Night Long?
I think it's a good idea.
That's a good idea. Let's launch into All Night Long and check out track number 1 off of your the music you sent to us.
Here we go.
Music playing loud and fast. She was standing in the corner waiting for someone to ask her to dance. 'Cause the night is way too young, and I know it's just begun. But I could dance with you all night long. Hearts are pumping to that rock and roll beat. Everybody's on the dance floor moving their feet. If you look real close, you see my soul's desire. You'll have to cool me down 'cause I'm on fire. Well, I'm burning up for you. I hope you feel the same way too. 'Cause I could dance with you all night long. Midnight hour comes and goes, and plays a final song real slow. And I'm holding close 'cause tonight might be all we have. I gotta know if this song and dance will be the last. Let's party tonight, got nothing tomorrow. We can crank up some music on my radio. 'Cause you know that I'm right, and we ain't done with the night. And I can't go, no need to take it slow. I could dance with you all night long.
Wonderful.
Awesome. That was All Night Long. It's track number 2 off of I Ain't Ever Growing Up, Volume 1 by Tom Ciurczak. So since you have Volume 1 on this CD cover, does that mean there's going to be a Volume 2?
Oh, yeah. In fact, I recorded 16 songs, and I was going to put it all out in one. And then I kind of came to this realization that it's way too much music for anybody to consume, so I split it into 2. And we're going to
Perfect.
release Volume 2 in the spring. And in between, there actually is an EP coming out. I just finished recording at Sunset Sound Studios a little mini Christmas EP with some original Christmas
you.
rock songs.
Sunset Sound Studios.
Oh.
And where's that located?
Let
I
me
think that's a fairly obvious.
That's
on my bucket list, by the way.
let me just tell you, it was so cool. Recorded in the Prince room, and I was
Wow.
like, okay, what's it going to be? Is it going to be a purple
Purple.
room? Is there going to be a bunch of dead doves? What am I expecting when I go in there, right? And there was nothing really like that. I was so disappointed, but they said, well, no. Prince used to bring a mattress in, and so we wouldn't lose the vibe. He would sleep in the studio every night. And I'm like, okay, that's a good enough story. I like that. And they had this B3 organ that was in there, which we used for a couple of songs on the EP. And I'm going with the story that that's the one that he used in Dearly Beloved and some of those other songs. So I'm not sure if it's true or not, but I'm going with that story.
roll
It is
with it.
tonight. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome.
That's a fantastic opportunity. And we were noticing the drums came right out like a cannon.
Oh.
So you got the chance to play with somebody
Yeah, that's
very renowned here.
that was Kenny Aronoff on the drums, and so my producer Stephen Hacker, he runs a little studio in this North Hollywood area, and there's a tremendous amount of rock musicians that have all moved into North Hollywood, and they all have little offices in the same building. I mean, you know, Steve Lukather is in the building, and
Wow.
and Kenny Aronoff, and all these guys will be Amy Mann, and they're all walking by left and right, and he pulls along Kenny Aronoff because he'd stop in every other day, and he said, "Hey, you want to do a couple of tracks?" And he was like, "Sure."
Sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
And I bet you he was an easy study. He probably just popped in there and laid it down and
basi-
moving on to the next thing.
basically, you know, they had the charts ready. He came in, took
Yeah.
a look at the chart. He plays everything though by charts. You'd be really impressed with how he's able to sight read.
Okay.
And all the musicians can sight read something phenomenal when you're recording, and but there's a tremendous amount of prep before you go into the studio. So I would prep everybody. We would go and practice everything. We would get it down. We would record the practices.
Yeah.
Then we'd make the charts, and we would go to the studio and record it.
Yeah. Well, that's the right way to do it because you don't want to burn all that studio time.
No,
That's
you
right.
don't.
Bit expensive.
Yeah.
No, I
Tick, tick,
recorded.
tick.
There's a little place between Glendale and Silver Lake called Frogtown. I don't know if you've ever heard of it.
Have not.
But it's this artist community. It's kind of a Laguna Beach type of area. And I guess it goes back to the 1920s, was an artist community back then. It's been resurrected. But these guys, they've got like 12 different studios across the country. It's a really nice setup where they got the Airbnb and they got the video studio and they got the recording studio. So when it's all vertically integrated, you can go in there as a band and just do everything you need to do for your record. And it's right across from the Frogtown Brewery. So anybody goes to the Frogtown Brewery regularly, that's a cool place to go, is check out the studio, which is Perfect Sound Studios up there. But I've recorded everything up until this Christmas EP at Perfect Sound in Frogtown.
Awesome.
Really cool.
And we're looking forward to volume 2 coming out in spring. So you're going to let us know when that drops, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Excellent.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about Kilimanjaro Skies.
Yeah, that's one I was trying to come up with kind of a world music type of song when I was writing, and it's got a kind of Paul Simon / Peter Gabriel rhythm to it, if you will. And I know a number of people that live in Africa, granted South Africa, Namibia, places like that. And I was like, I need to write something from a different perspective. Most of my songs are all, they're all outlaw, robbing a bank type of, getting drunk and in trouble. I said, I need to write something a little bit different. So I consciously set out to write this song with a whole different spin to it. Although it did come out as a Raiders of the Lost Ark type of thing at the end, where you're looking for Elephant's Graveyard located at the top of Mount Kilimanjaro, which is true. And I do reference Henry Morton Stanley in the song because, the native, he was the big explorer of Central Africa, the one that, Dr. Livingston, I presume, that's his famous line. But the natives that worked for him as he did the Central African Railroad used to call him Bula Matari. And so I used the line Bula Matari in the song. I was even going to call the album that until somebody said, they may not think that's real complimentary. It means breaker of rocks is what it means. And it's even on his gravestone up in England, Bula Matari. And the percussionist on this song, Richie Kahate Garcia, and he played with Phil Collins, and he played with Tony Orlando. He played with the Four Seasons, and he did 80 shows on Broadway of The Lion King. And of course, he says to me, he looks at me, he goes, "If you say Hakuna Matata in this song, I'm walking out the door."
Right.
I said, "Don't you worry, no Hakuna Matata in this song."
Cool.
But the Bulamatari line, I did a lot of research. Even the tribe that I referenced, the Chaga tribe, the real tribe, that would talk about the legends of the buried elephant graveyard at the top of Kilimanjaro. So I try to keep very, very accurate with a lot of the little details. Even though it's a made-up story, I put all the details in are very, very accurate.
Very interesting, because there are some words that you sing during this song that I was going to ask you about. Like, what does that word mean? I hear you repeating it. Anyways, let's check it out. This is Kilimanjaro Skies.
I was meeting with some big game hunters at the Sportsman's Cafe. It was another beautiful Tanzania day. I need to hire some local guy. I'm heading up that mountainside, somewhere past the snow line, way up high in those Kilimanjaro skies. I ain't looking for no lost city of gold, blood diamonds that were fought for and sold. I'm after a different prize. I've heard those stories from the Chaga tribe. I'm looking for that place where elephants go to die in those Kilimanjaro skies. Kilimanjaro. Kilimanjaro. Kilimanjaro, way up high, somewhere lost in those Kilimanjaro skies. We're raiders of the places lost in history, ancient tales of graveyards full of ivory. But legends often come along with a curse. It's hard to walk away. It's hard to walk away. It's hard to walk away. 'Cause in the end, it'll all be worth it. And they call me Bulamatari, 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 Bulamatari. We're going way up high. Legend says that most of you go blind. Well, I like the
Hey, everybody. We are listening to Tom Ciurczak here in the studio with us tonight.
Hi, everybody.
Nice work,
Hey.
Tom. We really enjoyed that last tune.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Love the guitar work.
right?
That was
Yes.
Sarvin Mangwat. Sarvin, don't kill me if I mispronounce your last name. But he did all the guitar work on my first album. And then I split up the guitar work on this album, but he's a fantastic guitarist out of Long Beach. And he plays around here in Laguna and Newport quite a bit.
Wonderful.
Hey.
Yeah.
We need to bring him into the
Another
studio
local
next
guy.
time. Yes, right on. Incredible local musicians here, including Tom, who's with us here in the studio tonight. And we're listening to tunes off of his I Ain't Ever Growing Up CD, Volume 1.
It's a good
Woo!
title. I can relate.
You know, it's the... I said that Springsteen and Meatloaf stole all of this stuff from Peter Pan, and I was like, well, you know what? If it's good enough for those two, why
Right,
not
I
me?
can do the
So-
same thing.
Of course.
Yeah.
Why not?
So if Jay and Barry, if they could steal from him, bingo, me too.
Right. Why not?
Let's check out Action Out There. Action Out There.
It's a sports / relationship tinged song. It's kind of like
Sports and a relationship.
yeah. Sometimes they don't always mix.
Why do I find that funny? I don't know. Let's check it out, though.
Simmer down, choose your words. Don't bite your tongue. Don't lose your courage. You can't sit and wait when it's time to fight. You gotta come out swinging, hit with all your might. And the voices in the back of your head start you spinning. Do it right, it's a new beginning. At the sound of the bell, the shot of the gun. When the whistle blows, we're gonna have some fun tonight. Monday night they shut the world off. Turn that television on. Sports, nothing ever really matters then. Everybody's sitting happy at their own front porch. The last of the night, final round 2 minute warning comes. You don't understand, you don't even care. Say there's action out there. Keep your cool, don't lose your head. Don't drop your guard or you might drop dead. You can't hold back when you draw first blood. You gotta move in quick, rub their face in the mud. And the roar of the crowd seems to grow in assistance. Thumbs down chant, we can show opponent's resistance. Block that kick, steal that base. Knock 'em out, we're gonna win the race. One day night they shut the world off. Turn their televisions on. Sports, nothing ever really matters then. Everybody's sitting happy at their own front porch. The last of the night,
Right on
All
that.
right.
Tom Ciurczak in the studio tonight. We're listening to songs off of his I Ain't Ever Growing Up Volume 1 CD.
Love this stuff, Tom. It's great.
Thank you.
Yeah. You're a rock and roller.
No, I told you it wasn't going to be the. There's one or two ballads I always feel obligated to throw out there.
Sure.
So there's always one ballad, but most of these always wind up being upbeat because it's like the antithesis. Everybody else has 7 slow ones and 1 fast one. I
Right,
figure,
you got all the fast
no. We got to
rockers.
flip that on its head.
So it sounds like, I mean, you've worked with so many important people. I'm curious about your background. And we just met like literally 15 minutes ago. So have you been playing your entire life? Where'd this all start?
I'm like a million other kids, right? The Beatles came on Ed
Yeah.
Sullivan, and boom, that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
And I was a little kid, and I was like, okay, the plate spinner, okay, he got all the plate spinning. Topo Gigio, okay, he's done. What's next? I'm doing that.
Yeah. Yeah.
The screaming girls.
Yep.
That's me.
That sold it for so many people.
me and a million. What was it February 9th, 1964? I'm in.
Yeah. God, it was life changing. I was too young for that, but my sister wasn't. But boy, I remember there was the talk. And now we see all these new unreleased, never seen before concert footage of the Beatles.
Yeah, how can that happen?
Oh my gosh.
AI.
How can that be?
I know.
It's unbelievable.
I know.
And some of it they actually pulled down off YouTube, I guess. And I think they want to, people to pay for it.
Of course.
But it's been up there for a while, and it's just phenomenal where their mics are not working. And so they're running around trying to find a mic that works because there's only 3 mics on the stage. It's incredible.
And I'm such a huge fan of all that, early British invasion,
Yeah.
whether it's the DC-5 or the Beatles or Jerry and the Pacemakers or the early Kinks and the early Who, the Searchers, you name it. I love all that stuff.
Yeah. It's good songs. They stand the test of time.
Absolutely.
All right. So, Michaela, are we going to do another recorded one, or should we get them on the acoustic
Get that.
here?
That acoustic is out and tuned and ready.
All
So I
right.
think we should put it to use.
It's tuned
Excellent.
and ready. What do we do? Do I have to move this? Or?
Nah, you're fine. Just, it'll pick up.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm going to do a song that's actually on volume 2.
Okay.
And it's about going to Mexico and winding up in a Mexican jail.
Oh,
I think it's a tune. Don't know how I wound up here. Went out last night for a couple of beers, and one of the boys had a bright idea. Said, let's go to Mexico tonight. New place in northern TJ, just a couple hours down the San Diego freeway. We've been drinking margaritas with those pretty senoritas, having a real good time. And then, whoa, someone shot out the lights and turned off the night. Got kicked in the head, and I was left for dead. Now I'm being held without bail in this Mexican jail. Whatever happened to my friends? Why am I the only one stocked inside? I wasn't the only one drinking there last night. I got a lot of doubts. What went on after the lights went out? I'm not sure I'm ever gonna learn the truth. Whoa, didn't have a knife, never started a fight. Whoa, just got enough money left for a bribe, and the jailer said, as he let me walk out that door, adios amigo, won't see around here no more, cause it's a long way to the border if you're gonna walk, so you better hurry up before you get caught. I didn't have to think about it twice, I wasn't gonna listen to his advice. I got me a car, went back to that bar, started asking around what everyone saw. Well, everyone was just as quiet as could be until I shouted out, drinks around me, and then I heard this happen time and time again. Federale shakedown every Thursday Turner and Sonata. Guess I'm buying another round. Whoa, whoa, oh, oh. Be hell without bail in this Mexican jail. Mexico.
Nice, wonderful.
I like the eyes. I like the whole song. That was great fun.
So that's on volume 2, so there's still much more coming.
How fun
You heard
was
it here
that?
first on GZR Ground Zero Radio.
Absolutely.
Fun stuff.
That was a lot of fun.
And you're right, your storytelling, I was into every part of it. I'm wondering why your buddies left you there. That's the big question. Some friends they are, huh?
Right.
Absolutely.
After you bought the drinks.
Right.
Absolutely. You would think.
Yeah.
Dude.
Oh, well.
You can always jog home.
And my
man.
friends always ask me, they go, you know, it's amazing. You just have no problems telling all of these real life stories. And I'm like, yeah, I'm shooting all of these people, and that's
Right,
me
yeah,
robbing
yeah,
the
yeah.
banks. And
Right.
It could be.
I've been spending years down in Mexico in the jail system. Yeah, that's me.
Tom, well, I'm glad that you're here and not down in Orange County jail or something, or Mexican jail.
Thank
It's
you
Mexico
so
jail,
much.
especially. Ooh, Lordy. But that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward. I love this album. Looking forward to volume 2 already.
Thank you so much. And you haven't even played the good songs on the album yet. So
Well, let's jump on over to Bonnie and Clyde while we're on that, like, outlaw thing.
That was my first single that came out. Released that in June to get the album rolling a little bit. So that's a good one to play. And
Awesome.
That does have a third act twist. I'm very big on the, 3-act plays with the third act twist on the whole thing.
Twisteroo.
This one has one of those.
Cool. All right.
Drunk out of my mind, somewhere down by Dead Man's Curve, I saw a rattlesnake in the middle of the road, and it reminded me of her. She used to call me Charlie, and she was my Carol Ann. I guess I should have known better when I saw her with that rifle in her hand. I knew someday she'd get me killed, but I just became addicted to the thrill. She had those bright blue eyes and a dark soul. She looked at me and I lost control. She took me on that magic carpet ride. She had a fast smile and a grifter's heart. I knew she was trouble right from the start. The cops chased us around like we were Bonnie and Clyde. Soon enough, I built a crew. Well, she made all the plans, told us what to do. She said the bags were too easy on the cars, were a much better hide. We'd always hit the messengers, he'd refill the ATM, take them down before he called any problems in. All that time we're being watched by the FBI. I knew someday she'd get me killed, but I just became addicted to the thrill. She had those bright blue eyes and a dark soul. She looked at me and I lost control. She took me on that magic carpet ride. She had a fast smile and a grifter's heart. I knew she was trouble right from the start. The cops chased us around like we were Bonnie and Clyde. Something went very wrong that day. keeps spinning around in my head like a song. Then I learned she was working with the feds all along. I knew, I knew, I knew, I knew. I fell for it all. She was too cool to be true. She had those bright blue eyes and a dark soul. She looked at me and I lost control. She took me on that magic carpet ride. She had a fast smile and a grifter's heart. I knew she was trouble right from the start. And the cops chased us around like we were Bonnie and Clyde.
Was
Yeah,
that
that's nice.
a whole lot of fun right there.
Right.
That Bonnie and Clyde car used to be on display, like over at State Line or
That's right.
at on your way to Las Vegas. It's not there anymore, but the real car used to be on display out there.
These songs are like writing puzzles and fitting pieces into a puzzle and getting the right word to fit here and the right word to rhyme there, and trying not to like use rhymes that everybody's used that are very overused. And it gets to be a lot of fun when you start to piece these things together. That's the art form. That's the stuff
Sure.
I really like doing.
Yes.
Wordsmithing, I think they call that.
Ooh.
Absolutely,
Yes.
but it's a lot of fun. You know,
Yeah.
there's too many people that go, "That it's perfect. I can't touch it." I'm like, no. You got to rewrite these things multiple times to
Yeah.
get the words just right.
Yes. Yeah, I know. Sometimes it can, and sometimes it can drive you nuts for a year. And other times you can sit up at 2 a.m. and go, boom, this is it, done, boom, perfect.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But to me, that's the art form, is writing the songs. But the real thrill is seeing them come all the way full circle into a finished product. And because I sit down and write this either on a piano or guitar, and to get it to come fully electric, that is really satisfying.
Yeah.
Yes. How
Yeah.
fun.
Sounds good. Sounds great.
I'm having a blast listening to all this. How about we talk about Ontario Nights?
What? Oh, that's a good
Oh,
one. That's
no,
a,
what were you
no,
gonna
no,
say?
No, that's a great one.
Okay.
That one. So here's the story. I wrote that, believe it or not, in 1975. And Bruce Springsteen just showed up in my college. And I don't want to date myself. I was a 5-year-old prodigy. But anyways, he shows up at my college. I didn't want to go see him. I was a very big prog. I was into Genesis and the Lamb Lies Down Broadway and all of that stuff. So they had to drag me kicking and screaming to go see him. And this guy blew the roof off of our small little gym. He had just done Hammersmith Odeon in London. It was the first stop he made when he came back. I had no idea what we were about to see, and he unleashed Born to Run. It was the most amazing show I had ever seen, and it changed the way that I write music after seeing that. And I wrote this song immediately. I went home and wrote that song right after that show.
Awesome. All right, let's check it out. Ontario Nights.
Standing by the shoreline, skimming the night breeze has yet to finally go down now. While Cayuga girls sitting by patiently waiting for the storm on the beach to die down. Oh yeah, taking those shots and finally losing count, 'cause we're staying out all night till the morning sun finally comes around. But you're down on your knees and you're clinging to the ropes. The wind is blowing harder. You're bursting the flames as the fire's rising to the night, and Ontario keeps taking us higher. And when the sun comes up, I don't wanna go home. Just wanna hang around here and skip stones with you all day. You say it's too cold. You say it's too cold. You say it's too freaking cold. Well, I'm burning up.
Ontario Nights. Here in the studio with us
Wonderful.
is, yes, awesome, Tom Ciurczak. How can people get a hold of you if they want to buy your music or book you for a gig?
Well, you can easily get a hold of me on my website. And, you know, I never realized until later that nobody could spell my name. after I took out the website, I was like, well, that's not going to work.
You became Tom C.
So
over here.
but I do, now I also took out the domain for TokyoTommy58.com, so you can get to my website as TokyoTommy58.com, and it'll get you there. So you don't have to worry about being able to spell Ciurczak.
Tokyo Tommy.
Yeah, that's my Instagram name and my, but I use 58, TokyoTommy58.com.
Awesome, thank you. Now, where did you
great.
pick up that nickname, or what do you? Is it a nickname?
Okay, so it's just my self-dubbed nickname. I owned a business in Ikebukuro in Japan, and I went back and forth to Japan like once a month for like 5 years straight.
Oh, wow.
And it became a commuter flight to me. So I'm very, very fluent in Japanese culture and Japanese ways
Wow.
without really speaking other than, you know, conversational sushi bar Japanese. That's about all I
Right.
can speak. But I did a lot of work in Japan from 1984 up until even today. So that's what put me on the sidelines for a long time, is I was involved in international business in the lighting industry, and I was traveling to Europe and traveling to Asia. And but I always wrote songs. That was just my hobby. So I've been doing that since I've been like 13, 14 years old. And I've got, you know, a suitcase full of songs
Yes,
that I
you
still
do.
have to give birth to and get out there. And I won't feel right until I do.
And you've even already published so many of them. But yeah, to hear that you still have some in the suitcase, you need to go get those off the shelf.
I'm right now. We've got the first album came out. I did a couple of singles in between, and I did a Christmas song, "Christmas Time in Hollywood," which I'm going to combine with two new Christmas songs on an EP and get that as kind of a Christmas card this year. And I'm planning to go back in the studio again this spring to record some more material we've already talked about and started putting the plans in motion for that. So I'm having a lot of fun. I've got a band that we've been rehearsing and about to go out and do some CD release parties. And
Good.
That's exciting because that's taken on a whole different life of its own. So, you know, because I've been playing acoustically, but there's a whole big difference between playing acoustically and playing electrically. I can do these songs either way, as you heard, but when you get to play them electrically, it's Neil Young acoustic versus Neil Young Crazy Horse. It's a whole different world.
Yes.
Yeah, different world. And then you also have the different talents influencing the song.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I'm a big believer, and I did this in business and I do this in music. You always surround yourself with people who are much better than you are.
Always.
Always.
Always. Good advice.
Very good
I
advice.
totally think that's great advice. All right. We've been having a blast. We are going to take this show out with Day Drinker. I wonder what this song is about.
Can you do Day Drinker? Do you
Can
have
I?
it?
I have it.
That's on volume 2, but you're more than welcome to play
but
it.
we can do another one if you prefer another one off of here. But
Why
we
don't
do
you-
have Day Drinker.
Why don't you do The Vault?
Let's do The Vault.
The vault it is.
Do we have The Vault? Yes, we have The Vault. Yes, we do. This is The Vault by Tom Ciurczak. And remind everyone of your website address again.
If you can't spell Ciurczak, which you probably can't, let's go with TokyoTommy58.com.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for coming in. We've had an awesome, awesome time with you.
Thank you.
Here we go. The Vault.
Been sitting at home thinking a lot about all those times. I'll never forget my brain's been doing somersaults about every night when we close the vault. I remember those faces and some of the names, but we spent too much time trying to blow out our brains. Drank all night till we got our bill, then we hit the diner in Richmondville. That one-armed man always had a gun tucked inside his pants, and if you skipped out on the bill, he might shoot you in the back. Days and nights when we had no money and we were in our prime, and we swore that we would always be blood brothers till the end of time. I still remember that winter day when the vault burned to the ground, and all the faculty on campus blamed us for everything in town. It could have been an inside job or a message sent by the local mob. The cops were in it for the kill, but we learned a few things in Richmondville. And that one-armed man always had a gun tucked inside his pants. And if you tried to pull a fast one, better watch your back. Days and nights when we had no money and we were in our prime, we swore that we would always be blood brothers till the end. Brothers till the end of time. I remember those faces and some of the names. Still hear the screams, feel the heat from the flames. Stick to that story, someone else can take the blame. We're brothers till the end, blood brothers till the end, till the end of time. Well, even though we fought and shouted, no one ever talked about it. The papers really made a fuss, but the charges wouldn't stick to us. When it all died down and we returned to dig up what we all had earned, we opened up that money sack. And I shot each brother in the back, 'cause I learned a lot from that one-armed man and what he had to do. Sometimes you gotta pull the trigger before it is all to you. We're brothers till the will light the dark. You stand and watch as it all burns, and you absorb what you have learned. The night's on fire. See how it goes. And who'll survive once it gets cold? The fire purifies the soul of any witches in the town. So every full moon you go out and burn another down. The night's on fire. See how it goes. And who'll survive? In the morning, you just look around and see what's left to do. From the night before, everything's still smoking. Everyone has gone and the sun has finally broken through. The cycle comes around and once again you're howling at the moon. You can't relax, you strike a match, you know exactly what to do. The night's on fire, see how it goes. And who'll survive once it gets cold? After a while, you'll forget him. Given the right or wrong choice, he'll break your heart if you let him. Given the right or wrong choice, don't ever give your heart to him. Don't ever lose control. 'Cause if you want it tomorrow, it'll be alright. You're just searching for the right man. So you hide inside your bottle till he's in your side for another one night stand. Deep inside, you know you're lost. You swear you love with your fingers crossed. Don't ever give your heart to Say your prayers each night before you pass out. Play spin the bottle and wake up on some stranger's couch. Shiver me timbers and rattle my bones. I guess it's better than waking up alone. second step. I'm drinking 'cause I'm thirsty, not trying to forget. I'm not interested in making any new friends, don't want to hear anyone else's sad story. Not because I'm not sympathetic, it's just because you're so damn boring. I lose track of time and I feel like I'm a million miles away. me.